Hey there, Purpose Pursuer. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new to me, my name is Trasetta Alexander, and I'm a faith-based business and productivity coach. Today, I want to share with you about how to overcome your fear of pursuing your purpose. I want to start by telling you a story from my childhood. Now, bear with me because you'll see at the end why I want to share this particular story. I grew up in Orlando, Florida, and my father worked for the local university as a professor. And many summers, because he was a teacher, professor, he actually worked during the summer. He taught classes over the summer, and we would oftentimes have the opportunity to go to work with him, my little brother and I. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about those times when we would get to go and spend our part of our day at his office was when he was done teaching, he would take us over to the pool. And so I had a blast, my brother and I. We would be swimming and playing in the water and just cooling off from those really, really hot summer days. Now, the pool was kind of an L shaped pool. So they had one section where you could swim laps and just enjoy swimming and just having a good time. And then the other portion of the pool had diving boards, and there was three different diving boards at different levels. So there was like the low dive, the mid dive, and the high diving board. And my brother and I often would go and jump off of the lower boards into the water, but we never would dare to go climb up the high diving board and jump from there. Now, I have to give you a little bit of a backstory about me. I have, or I had when I was growing up, a little bit of a fear of heights. I used to like to climb trees, and one particular time we had this magnolia tree in our yard, and I wanted to see how high I could get in the tree. And I got all the way up to the top, and I could see all the houses in the neighborhood. But when it came time for me to climb down, and I looked down and saw how high up I was, I froze. Long story short, my father had to come with a ladder, and even with the ladder and him being 6'2", it still was a challenge for him to reach my foot to guide me down out of the tree. So that's when I discovered that I had a fear of heights. So back to my original story, diving off of that high dive or jumping off of that high dive was just not in the cards for me. However, for some strange unknown reason, one day my brother and I decided that we were going to be brave and we were going to jump off of the high dive. And I was first because I was oldest, and I climbed myself confidently up to the top of that high dive board and walked out to the edge of the board, and I looked down at the water and I froze. I could not muster up the courage to go ahead and jump off of that diving board. I stood there for what seemed like an eternity, staring into the water, realizing just how far away the water was from where I was standing. And you know what? I didn't jump. I turned around and I climbed right back down the ladder from diving board. I was just simply too scared. Now, this is the reason why I'm telling you the story, because stepping into your purpose, stepping into the thing that you were created to do can feel a lot like jumping off the high dive board at the pool, like it did to me, like it did for me. And perhaps that's you. Perhaps you got enough confidence to climb up the ladder, walk out to the edge, and you looked down and saw just how far you are from where you feel called to go, and you chickened out. Maybe you've been planning, you've been researching, you've been preparing, and the day has come for you to jump off of that high dive. But like I said, you feel like me, like I did up on that diving board, and the jump just seems too far and too scary for you to take that leap. I get it. You're on the edge thinking about all the different things that could go wrong. And yes, things can go wrong. Matter of fact, things often do go wrong. But if you never jump, you will never experience the successes either. So, in order for you to get up the courage to actually take the leap, to make that jump, I want you to ask yourself some questions that could perhaps help you overcome that fear that is smacking you right in the face at the time. So, here's how you decide if it really is time for you to make that leap, if it really is time for you to take that jump. Ask yourself these questions. Number one, if I jump, what could I gain? What are the things that I will get out of taking this leap? What are the things that I can get added to my life if I go ahead and make this jump? Perhaps it's fulfillment, perhaps it's freedom, joy, liberty, success. Maybe it's prosperity. What are all the things that you stand to gain by taking the leap and stepping into what you feel called to do? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, if I jump, what could I lose? What are the things that could possibly go wrong? What are the things that you may lose? Maybe it's you, quote unquote, lose that security of the steady paycheck because your purpose is to start your own business. Maybe you lose some finances because you have to invest financially in doing some of the things that it'll take for you to pursue your purpose. What are those things? Evaluate what are the things that you could possibly lose if you take this leap, take this jump, and what are the things that are at risk? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, if I don't jump, what do I have to gain? So if I decide to stay right where I am and not pursue what I feel my purpose is, what do I gain from that? What are the things that I get to keep? What do I get to hold on to as a result of me or not pursuing my purpose, of not taking that leap, not taking that jump? And then the last question I want you to ask yourself is, if I don't jump, what do I have to lose? What do I miss out on by not taking the risk, by not taking the chance? Then evaluate your answers to those questions and make the determination if the things that you would lose versus the things that you would gain, which one makes the most sense? Maybe right now is not the time for you to take that leap. Maybe it's too risky right now. Maybe you would lose too much right now for you to take that leap. Or maybe you see that there's a way much more for you to gain by stepping into the thing you feel called to do than to hold off on doing it. Only you can determine whether or not it's the right time or not. While I did not jump off of that high dive on that day, I did eventually do it. But I will admit, I only jumped once. But I proved to myself that I had the guts to conquer my fear. Maybe today isn't the day for you, but it doesn't mean that your day won't come. Just like my day to jump off of that high dive came, your day to jump into your purpose will come for you as well. Now, if after you have honestly answered these questions and what you stand to gain outweighs what you stand to lose or what you could possibly lose, I want you to go ahead and make the jump. If you have asked yourself these questions and just figured out that now is the time for you to jump, I want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments below that you are going to make the leap, that you're going to take the jump, you're going to jump off of that high dive and go right into your purpose, the thing that you feel called to do. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. And remember, you got this and God has you. I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.